about to begin. To all of you, please give attention. My name is Siskar Sutinur, the moderator of today's class. I'm very pleased to see you here and welcome all of you to this discussion. Everyone, as we know that we have a special speaker group discussion, as a speaker are
My name is Ariel Danoverdi.
My name is Irsyad Ainur Rahman.
My name is Mutiara Zahra.
and myself, Siskar Sutinur. Thank you for being willing to be our speaker in our discussion. It's such an honor for us to have you here. Everyone, there will be two sessions for this class. The first is a presentation session and the second is a question and answer session. Before the presentation begins, let me inform you how the presentation will going on. First, the speaker will be invited to present the materials. After that, there will be a question and answer session at the end of this class. Every participant can drop the question in the chat box, or if you want to ask the question directly to the speaker, you can use the raise hand features. All the questions will be answered in the question and answer session. And last, for all participants, please stay in the room until the class is finished. Alright, now I would like to welcome to our group to deliver their presentation with the title Climate Change in Indonesia. To Mr. Ariel, please.
Okay, everyone. Climate change is the long-term change in temperature and the weather pattern. This shift commonly occurs naturally due to the sun cycle, but currently human activities are the primary causes of the climate change in the worldwide, especially through of the burning fossil fuels and the greenhouse effect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ariel, for sharing such interesting and insightful presentation. From the Mr. Ariel speaking, it can be concluded climate change shift commonly occurs naturally due to the sun cycle, but human activities cause of climate change worldwide, especially through the burning of fossil fuels and the greenhouse effects. And for the next speaker is Mr. Irsyad. To Mr. Irsyad, please.
Based on data, temperature in Indonesia is changed every year and even every month. This means the climate in Indonesia is unpredictable. Why? They happen in its human activities, like deforestation in Kalimantan or oil palm in Riau. Thanks for me.
Thank you, Mr. Irsyad, for your presentation. From the Mr. Irsyad speak, it can be concluded based on data, the temperature in Indonesia continues to increase every year. Although there is a decrease in temperature in certain months, this climate change is influenced by environmental damage due to human activities such as deforestation and oil palm plantation. And for the next speaker is Ms. Mutiara. To Ms. Mutiara, please.
Okay. As for effort to address climate change in Indonesia from the government success, first, building greenhouse gas tower and greenhouse gas First, building greenhouse gas tower and greenhouse gas monitoring station in various regions in Indonesia as an effort to control climate change. And second, reforestation in deforested area, where reforestation is crucial to overcome climate change in Indonesia. And third, switching from gasoline fueled vehicles to environmentally friendly vehicle. This is also no less important because gasoline vehicles are one of the biggest contributor to carbon emission in Indonesia, which accelerates climate change in Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mutiara. From the Ms. Mutiara speech, it can be concluded the Indonesian government has taken steps to address climate change, such as building greenhouse gas monitoring towers and stations and reforesting degraded areas. In addition, they are also encouraging the shift to environmentally friendly vehicles, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, implementing carbon-based fuel regulation, and educating the public to participate in climate change mitigation and adaptation. And for the next material, can deliver by myself. The Indonesian government has implemented various programs to deal with climate change, which is a serious challenge for the country. Here are some of the key steps and commitments taken by the government. For the first is international commitments to the Paris Agreement. Indonesia signed the Paris Agreement in 2016 and committed to reducing greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions through its nationally determined contribution (NDC). In the latest NDC, Indonesia targets to reduce emissions by 31.89% on its own and up to 43.20% with international support by 2030. And for the second is National Peatland Restoration Policy and Program. The government established the Peatland Restoration Agency in January 2016 in response to previous land and forest fires. This includes a moratorium on permits on primary forest and Peatlands Climate Village Program, PROCLIM. This is an initiative to engage communities in mitigation and adaptation action to climate change long-term strategy on low carbon and climate resilience development 2050. This document sets out a sustainable vision for achieving a balance between emission reduction and economic development with a target of GHG emissions peaking by 2030. And for the third is Green Climate Fund, GCF, funding and investment. Indonesia participates in the GCF, which provides funding for climate change mitigation and adaptation projects. The Ministry of Finance acts as the National Designated Authority (NDA) to manage access to this funding, manage access to use the state budget. The government also uses the state budget to fund climate change control efforts, including the issuance of financing instruments such as green certificate and green bonds. And for the last is community engagement. The government encourages participation from various stakeholders, including the private sector, academia, and civil society, in efforts to address climate change. This includes multi-sector consultation to ensure that all parties are involved in planning and implementing climate-related programs. From what I said, it can be concluded the Indonesian government has made international commitments through the Paris Agreement and implemented a national peatland restoration policy. In addition, they also utilize funds from the Green Climate Fund (GCF) and involve communities in in climate change mitigation and adaptation efforts. And the last material delivered by Mr. Ariel. To Mr. Ariel, please.
Okay. Example of climate change case in Indonesia is like what is happened in Jakarta today, precisely in North Jakarta. In North Jakarta, there is currently a dike that functions as a barrier to seawater from entering the land. This is caused by rising seawater, which is influenced by climate change that occurs in the North Pole. This has resulted in Jakarta, which is a city that is parallel to the sea, now becoming unbalanced with the sea. The sea is higher than the land, which is allow Jakarta to sink in 2030. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ariel. From the Mr. Ariel speech, it can be concluded in North Jakarta, rising sea levels due to climate change are rendering seawalls, which prevent flooding, increasingly ineffective. This risks Jakarta being submerged by 2030 as the ground is lower than sea level. Okay, before we close the presentation, are you want to ask question for the group? Okay. Here I will convey the conclusion of all the materials that has been conveyed. Climate change in Indonesia is driven by human activities such as deforestation and fossil burning. The government has taken mitigation measures such as reforestation and emissions monitoring, but major challenges remain, especially with sea level rise threatening Jakarta. Everyone, we finally come to the end of this session. Before I close the session, I would like to say thank you to group for the informative and interesting presentation, and also to all the participants who attended this class. It's a very pleasure to have you all. Don't forget that this is a routine class, so we'll come back with another group with another interesting topic. Keep up with the update. See you and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yay! Congratulations!